Hello, welcome back to Touchline Talk. Here, I have a very special guest, and this is very much for the goalkeeper coaches out there. Here, I have Gianluca, currently just finishing with Levante. He's now moving on to a new club very, very soon. But here, we're going to talk goalkeeping, we're going to talk coaching, we're going to talk international experience, and I'm really looking forward to this, Gianluca. So, firstly, thank you very much for coming on. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to talk to us, because I know that you are in a little bit of a transition at the moment. I know you have a new opportunity, a new club coming up for next season. And yeah, just want to say thank you for giving up your time and talking to me.
Hi, Simon. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here and doing this interview with you, especially with you because we are friends. So that's even special.
Yeah, this is a special one. So just to give some context to the viewers, I know you, Gianluca, from Levante. We met there. I came in with a guy called Brian. That was many years ago now. I think that was 2015. I think we met. I came over and did some observations within Levante, and one of the things that struck me at the time when I was with Brian and I was watching the sessions, going to all of the different sessions, I stopped past your coaching, and I told you afterwards, and we were just speaking about it just then. Out of all the goalkeeper coaches that I have seen work in my career so far, you were special. The way you worked with the players, the coaching, the style stood out to me at the time, and I think that's one of the reasons why I've always wanted to learn from you as a coach, but as a goalkeeper coach, and to watch you work, because what you did, what you were doing, how you work, for me was exceptional.
Thank you, Simon. Again,
quite big praise, no?
Was special at the time, but because having people working in a high level club as you were at the time, coming over and see your session and give that amount of information and compliments and feedback, good feedback, for me was special, because I was 27 at the time, so we kind of always try to have some feedback from people outside. So that was very good for me, having your feedback.
No, I think what was special for me was the way that you adapted the sessions, the way that you coached, and the way that the sessions were structured. For me, every time I watched your sessions, I could see how every single part of your sessions related to what the goalkeepers needed to do within a game situation, and it all linked. And for me, the practices, how they linked, and I could really see the sessions that you were doing, how they would benefit the goalkeepers within the games. And for me, alongside your work and your personality, for me was fantastic to watch.
Yeah, now we since the last time you came to Levante, now we had to change, a little bit, and I think we have a step forward in that sense, because we kind of connect our individual goalkeeping sessions, training session, with the team session. So now we are able, as a department, to build and help coaches that, for sure, there will be time to talk about this interaction with the coaches, managers, and the rest of the staff, to include the goalkeeper in the sessions.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I remember at the time, my Spanish was not fantastic. We managed to have some conversations with some broken Spanish and some English. And I will just let the listeners know that, Gianluca, you talk Italian, Spanish, and your English is, I mean, we are talking in English, so your English is good.
Yes, it's getting better. I always try to improve, no, because I think the English connect people. Because Spanish, yes, is Italian, good languages, very nice, but when people come over to Levante, or I had experience traveling to watch a session abroad, and English is important. Also, if in my future I want to have, I would like to have an experience in England, obviously. That's our dream, as a Spanish coaches. And I always take classes. Now I started with a teacher, English teacher, about football terms and terminology, and it's always getting better. The sensation they have. So
Yeah,
it's good.
your English is definitely good. It's definitely, well, for a lot of people, what I guess as a non-native speaker would like to have. So fair play to you for having that level. Obviously, being Italian and moving to Spain, I just want to give some context for the viewers. So you were a goalkeeper in Italy, correct?
Yes, I played in the academy, Torino Academy, for 8 years. I signed at the time 10-year contract because in Italy was the terms now in academy. And the last 2 years I went alone in lower division in football, like Tercera División in Spain, which is the fifth league, national league in England. And I had this experience as a semi-professional goalkeeper. But I think the most important part of my career as a player was at Torino in the academy.
And that experience at Torino, how would you describe it? Did you enjoy the time? What did you learn as a player?
Yes, I had the experience now to be in a professional club. That's without any doubt teach to you how to behave in a professional context, how to be good professional. Every day you have to compete against your teammates. You have to compete. You are to stand to make bigger your club. And also Torino is an iconic club in Italy.
Yeah.
Because the tragedy back in 1949, Grande Torino. So we always grow up. I always grow up with the Grande Torino in mind, and that ideal Torino player, as they can behave, how they can play. The 15 minutes of Torino, which is in the game, we always believe that Torino has 15 minutes where something can change in the game. So it's incredible being there for many years.
Well, I mean, yeah. You had a really nice pathway in Torino, and like I say, the experiences that you learn in Torino, and to sort of progress that into coaching. You left Italy and went over to Spain. So again, this this show, really, we're trying to talk about people who are looking to go abroad, people that move abroad, people that are working outside of their sort of home country, and you've done that going from Italy to Spain. So just talk to us a little bit about that transition from Italy to Spain. How did that role at Levante happen, and how did you find the transition from Italy to here in Spain?
as many things in life we don't expect, no, the stuff that happened to us many times, and Levante was decent before Spain, because I remember going to the university, and was in Europe there was a little of crisis. No, we always live in crisis, so not many people were signed for applying for Erasmus project. So I did. My parents and family was really supportive to me, and so I started my journey, in the Erasmus project. In January, I had to do the internship for the university. So Levante was the main club, because Valencia was difficult to get in. Levante was based on people in internship at the time. So for me, it was great. So I started. I had to start with children, with under 10 or under 9, but the goalkeeping coach, under 19's goalkeeper coach, had an injury or a family problem. So during the interview, I was saying that my experience as a goalkeeper at Torino. So I did the internship at Torino during the university period. So they said to me, okay, 1 week of trying, working with our goalkeepers, and then it became my job from that point. So was curious. Was curious because
it's really...
normally things like that doesn't don't happen didn't happen a lot. Quite unique, my story in that sense, and was difficult now, because I was yes, I could speak Spanish, but I was not good. Imagine delivery a session in Spanish, and organize with the staff, and then post session with the staff, video with the players. But was absolutely great, no? Because English, Italian, and Spanish are quite similar, so was really fast for me to learn the language. And the transition was different, because I remember when I was a goalkeeper, I never play short passes, no, as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Because national league in general, and at the time when I was playing, was long ball base, and in Italy,
it's changed, no? Football's
yes.
massively changed now. So
yes, but in Spain they already have the tiki-taka mindset. And so going there, and I was only thinking in the defensive perspective of the goalkeeper. And coming to Spain, they opened my mind, no? Because there is the offensive part of the game to develop with the goalkeepers. So was incredible, because I still learning, because different goalkeepers, different coaches, you have to adapt, you have to understand the team that you have to implement some playing out from behind, no, play out.
yeah, you have a really tough job as a goalkeeper and as a goalkeeper coach. You look at what some of the top teams now across Europe are doing, across the world are doing. Obviously, here in Spain is very much the goalkeeper starts the attack. The goalkeeper is so crucial to building from the back and trying to have controlled possession, trying to move, switch to play, and try to generate really positive attacks. And the goalkeeper is a person who can help create that overload, especially in the first phase. So, in terms of your understanding of coaching, your understanding of the goalkeeper, Spain seems to be quite a big transitional point for you in terms of how you would then coach goalkeepers here with Levante.
Yes, because complete my awareness about the role. So before, as I said, I was only focused on the defensive part of the game, and now I had to start. Before I had to start to learn how can we generate or create from the back, how my defender has to drop to give a line of passes. How can I break pressing, a dive pressing, finding the back of the jump as for that traducing, no, indirectly or directly, and was about studying. So as everything, we have the opportunity to use Y Scout or Insta Scout, which are the platform. So what Guardiola does, what De Zerbi does, what every coach or every team that try to play it out. So I had and still learning from these teams, and obviously,
I mean, I
sorry, as
no, I was going to. I was gonna say when I saw you back at that time in 2015, those sessions are exactly what you're talking about. So some of those early things, in terms of how to link play, not just have a defensive goalkeeper, but to have a goalkeeper who could create, could switch play, could be part of the attack. They were the things for me that I saw you coaching that I hadn't seen before, and I was like, this guy is special, a really special goalkeeper coach, and I just want to learn from him, because then for me as a coach to watch more of your sessions, and I guess it's the same for you, when the coach and the goalkeeper coach have got that really good understanding together, the work of the team becomes better, and you have more success.
Yes, because in that sense, many times you understand. First of all, I think as a goalkeeping coaches, we have to open a little bit more, no, in that sense to the staff, because the people that I learned most was the coaches, were the coaches that I working with, because they are an incredible understanding of the game, and was my job to get in touch with them to improve the first part, but also to improve goalkeeping performance. And as a head of goalkeeping at Levante, I remember 2 years ago, we did a dramatic choose, no, in that sense, because choice, sorry, because the first part of the season, we didn't train deliver session, defensive session with the goalkeepers. They always went with the team in rondos, possessions, progressive, small side game, everything, but with the team. So to see what the progress they could have without being that working in that sense with them. So defensive, always defensive. So we send them to the goalkeeper with the team, without no goalkeeping training sessions, really really little sessions, and we could see the improve a lot, and they were more confident, with the ball, because at the end the podalic coordination is the most difficult for a human being. So starting from early ages is good in that sense.
I mean, do you think that obviously being a goalkeeper is an extremely difficult position? It's probably the most difficult position to play. There's so much responsibility on you as a player, and now with goalkeepers being tasked and goalkeepers being responsible for so much of that play, you kind of need to work both aspects of a goalkeeper, both their handling, their shot stopping, the more defensive aspects of a goalkeeper, and the more offensive aspects of a goalkeeper. And I think that transition, as you're talking about, is really, really interesting. If your thought process on, if we were to talk about percentages, so out of 100%, as an example, how much of that time do you think a goalkeeper should be with the team? How much time should they be working on the more offensive parts of the game, and how much should be just goalkeeper defensive aspects?
We have to think about the develop of the children, the guys, or adults. In that sense, with children's, I cannot start an early specialization. Sorry about that, but with early goalkeeping, because they are so young, so they have to experiment being player even, and then having a little part of the train with handling basis, okay, about goalkeeping. As you grow up, now you can start this type of work, heavy work about technique, about positioning, about obviously distribution and everything. But I will send to the team, and having the connection with the staff, I can modify spaces or type of pressing, the rules of the exercise. For example, now they jump the two forwards, the opposite team in a possession can jump only with one player. So where are the players? Where is the free players? Where are the free spaces? How can I connect with my teammates to find this free man, for example? And then when we are working with adults, the understanding of the game and the understanding the technique, yes, we can improve, we can correct something, but I think they have to stay with the team. Always, not just sent to the team, but having this connection to make relevant situation for them about learning. Okay, situation.
Yeah.
So that's
I think
that's my
I think that's key. I think that's I agree with you. I think that's a really good way to work. Sometimes I think going back for me, whenever we speak, whenever I think back to conversations I've had with different coaches, conversations about goalkeepers, some of the points and some of the areas for development for those goalkeepers has been their understanding of the game. Sometimes they're not in the right position. Their starting position isn't well. They don't know how to, if they've got space when there is a pass to them, to relax, to try and draw pressure, and then to play around that pressure. And that is what you're talking about. It's a case of those players actively playing a key role in technical, tactical sessions with players, but also having goalkeeper specific sessions. And I guess that balance between the two is very complicated. But I think just touching on one point that you said a couple of minutes ago was to not specialize too early, and for the goalkeepers to work as players, and still, obviously, I think have some time practicing, obviously the specific goalkeeper techniques. But as we see, and I'm sure you will agree that the pressure and the relevance now of goalkeepers and the importance they play in football is so important. It's crazy.
And many times, if you if you watch an interview of the best goalkeepers in the world with in distribution, they started playing as a goalkeeper in when they were 15 or 14. They didn't start working or playing as a goalkeeper when they were 5 or 6 or 8. So they had this background as a player, as a field player, that helped now to be better in goalkeeping.
Yeah, yeah, nice. I mean, that is fascinating. And just to go on to just touch on Levante. So you worked your way up with Levante, and you ended up going into like the head of goalkeeping at the club.
Yes. We Levante was little structured in 2010 when I became goalkeeper coach for under 19s. Because the TV money didn't really start at the time, so they when the money came in, so Levante started to invest heavily in the academy. So we create different departments. So that in this moment I became head of goalkeeping. So we started only 2 guys for the rest of the academy goalkeepers, and now we are 7. So you can feel the progress, no? In that sense, it's the amount of work is enormous because you have obviously the process of selection is important, but also the we different sometimes in at Levante because we really care about coaching education. So the biggest part of my role at Levante is about education, coaching education, not only goalkeepers coaches, but also managers. No, first coach, second coach, set pieces coaches. So because we have, I think, as a goalkeeping coaches, we have a giant understanding of the situation because we watch a lot of situation. Even if you watch a defensive part of the game, no, you all at the same time you are watching the offensive part of the another team because you are watching the goalkeeper trying to catch, but also the attacking player trying to score. So you understand every moment, every run, every pass, and you can connect everything. No, so now, for example, the last year, I became expert of the boxes. So I was a goalkeeping coach, so expert in the defensive part, but also in attacking part. So I work with our attacking players about finishing, about last passes, crosses. How can we in individual coach, in English, in England.
Mm-hmm.
Individual
Yeah.
offensive coach. That was my role also. So it's good now
I
because
think
Levante.
that's quite interesting.
Yes, but it's obvious. For me, it's obvious because if you think about the performance, about situations or game understanding of the game, you cannot talk about defend a long range shot without thinking that maybe
Mm-hmm.
your defensive player can help you to defend this. How? With his body. If he turns,
Yeah.
he open another space. It's difficult for the goalkeeper. So we trying to connect all these situations to improve and to improve defensive player, to improve attacking players, to improve goalkeepers players. So for me, it's obvious that that connection. And
Yeah.
Levante,
I would agree with you on that side. Yeah.
and
You can see
Levante,
that. You can see the links. You know.
yes, is yes, and Levante also gave me this opportunity, no, because it's not obviously with video. We analyze video, I explain everything, but also is not common that your goalkeeper coach is also the offensive individual coach. It's not common,
Yeah.
or maybe help
No.
you to defend to be an individual defensive coach, because we are kind of the departmented
Mm-hmm.
clubs sometimes. No? So goalkeeping
Yeah.
is about
Yeah.
goalkeeping, and I have to be really thankful to Levante because they gave me this opportunity. So now my understanding of the game is even deeper, no? In that sense.
Yeah. Better. Yeah.
Mm.
I think as a goalkeeper coach, that's a really nice way to look at it, because actually, and you've seen so many situations, plays, moments where defensively you can see, okay, the team done well or the team didn't do well. The defenders didn't do well. The defenders did well. The goalkeeper did well. The goalkeeper didn't do well. And then for you, on the flip side, looking at it from an offensive perspective, you can pick out areas that the opposition goalkeeper is weaker, the defence is weaker. And then when you talk to those offensive players, those attackers, the information that you can give is really, really good, because you have a good understanding of, as a goalkeeper, of the opposition or the defenders, what their weaknesses are in terms of defending. Where is the goalkeeper weaker in terms of protecting and saving? Defenders, where can we, from our point of view as attackers, where can we try to focus our attacks? How is it best to score? Because you understand defensively their strengths and their weaknesses. So I think to have that link between both, probably, and I would definitely say from my experiences at Levante, would be that Levante was a very, very forward-thinking club, and you've been allowed to express yourself, been able to improve that goalkeeping department, and allow not only for yourself to improve your knowledge, but also improve the knowledge of other goalkeeper coaches, but also the players to be more analytical and to analyse the game more, so that they can have more success. And I think that's something that is really interesting to see and to hear, that other clubs are trying to find different ways, different perspectives to get that success, which is really interesting that you
And
are
also,
you are talking about that.
as a goalkeeper coach, sometimes we are scared, not to go to the manager and say something, no, because maybe we are not that confident with our knowledge. But for me, that's the point, no. We have to start in at some point to really get really good analyzing and understanding the game, because that connect us with the manager. Because when we talk
And the
to the
team,
manager,
yeah.
he's analyzing us, and if we are able to explain and go deep and even understand the moment of this player, the field player, about how he can improve that. He can, if we do that, if he does this kind of finishing or this type of movements, he can improve, and maybe can improve his expected goal. No, his chances
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
can be more. So for me,
To score.
it's as experience top in many senses.
Yeah. I mean, Gianluca, you have worked in Levante. You have worked all the way from the youngest age groups all the way to the first team. And I really wanted to ask you. I really wanted to find out a bit more about your experience with the first team in in La Liga, um, and what were some of the differences that you would say working with real, the real little ones to then working with the first team?
Hmm. So the last year, as always, now it's difficult for young people to have opportunity, to go to the first division, and when you get the chance, normally it's a tough moment for for the team. So
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
that was tough moment for Levante. So Javi Pereira, coming from manager coming from China, was the manager coming in after the sacking of Paco Lopez. So he had not goalkeeping coach. So I went up. I did the first week always of trying, and he decided to stay. No, for me, he wanted me to join the East staff. So we played 7 games, and then another change. And Alessio Lisci, which is now my coach manager, um, went up from the B team. So you can imagine the players, them mentally were distracted, and that's what, for me, that is the difference, no? Because when you train with academy players, normally they are clean mentally. They have no problems.
hmm
Maybe some problem with the school, but normally they come to the training ground with this joy, and they want to train, and they want to even spend more time on the field because they are joined. No?
yeah,
And with the first team, was difficult at the beginning because the situation, we were the last one. Sorry, we were
yeah,
bottom of the table. Results were not good. So the players, I had to work mentally, no. So I changed completely my way of working. I try to adapt to them. So less understanding of the game, more activation, more execution. Feel that kind of speed, no, and speed and many save in the same exercise. So I try to my approach was in that sense mentally, no, and then when the results started to come, so I started having more Gianluca perspective about the
yeah.
the train the training session. So, but was
It was
absolutely good
it
because
was a very tough season.
yes, because obviously when we had under Paco Lopez, we had 3 or 4 years, really good, playing
Yeah.
semi-final, Copa del Rey semi-final, which was the highest point of the club, no? And then next year, bottom of the table and record losing games. So it was tough for the same players because the roster didn't change. So they were the same players that 1 year before played the semi-final, and but it's football, no? And
mentally very tough.
Yeah, for us too, because imagine you have that opportunity, and with 29 years, no? Because I was 29 years older, and this opportunity, and you have to face this situation, and but for me it was a master, about the players we played against, obviously top level clubs, top level players, stadiums, and obviously our players, because when we recover the players, you can feel that sensation, no, that we can play against any team in the table because we are good. But that did.
I remember you getting me tickets to one of, I think it must have been the 6th or 7th game at Atletico. Yeah, I can remember you getting me tickets to go to that game, and I can remember you guys winning. That was a fantastic game. Yeah,
and you can imagine that because you were having record. You were having a record for La Liga losing games.
Yeah.
Then we won against Mallorca the first game, and then 2 weeks later we went to Wanda Metropolitano and we won against Atletico. It's different. The section is important.
Yeah. That was. I mean, I remember being at the game and seeing you warm up with the players, and it was so good to see my friend, to see you on that stage with the first team. Obviously, in a really difficult position, in a really difficult moment for the club, but to see your progress as a person, as a goalkeeper coach, to be able to work with the first team, to be in the top division, and to play at Atleti and to get a win was obviously that the season didn't finish how you wanted it to finish, which was a shame and was gutting. But I guess those are moments that personally for you can take away and look back on with positivity and good memories.
Yeah, and also was special because for me was having that journey with the goalkeepers that I trained
all the way through.
Yeah, you remember Cárdenas? We started together, and now last year Alex Primo made his debut against Alaves with 17 years, and
years old.
Pablo Cunhaz came many times to the bench, so it's incredible. I feel that I've done everything at Levante. No, I started. I became a top coach. We promote players for the first team. I've got in the first team, so I can. I couldn't imagine that. No, when I started.
Yeah, I mean to think back to those first sessions that I watched you, to see your progress with Levante, to know every year that I spoke to you or I came and watched your progress with the club, to see so many players from the academy making debuts shows the progress, the impact that you've had on the academy as a whole, the impact that you've had from a methodological perspective on the club, the impact you've had on those players, other coaches, and to see where those players go. Obviously, Valencia is a very competitive area. There are some big clubs there with Valencia, Villarreal. So, to allow and to support those players to make debuts with the first team, to push those players on, is a credit to you, the work that you've done, the work that you have been doing. And I'm sure you look back on that time with Levante as an extremely positive one with amazing outcomes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I would say that if anybody can ever go and watch a goalkeeper coach, it's probably you are going to be one of the names to try and get in contact with, Gianluca. Your sessions, and I will say as well with no, I will say you are one of the most humble people as well.
Yes, but no, it's the same because I had an year without working at Levante in 2014, and I remember going to English clubs even in during Christmas time, because at the end you make contacts and you try to go and watch different sessions now from other teams. And I remember going to Arsenal. I remember going to Manchester City, and they opened their doors to me. That I was only a guy working at Levante, and we talk 2 hours about goalkeeping, about teams, about players, and for me that was is the most interesting thing to do in coaching. Watching other coaches sessions for me is the best part of this job, because you can evaluate yourself and learn at the same time. And you are
no, I agree with you. I guess that's really. I guess that's really good advice for people who are out there who are coaches, goalkeeper coaches. Is, as you say, go and use your spare time to go and watch people, make contacts, see how they work, and as you know, and we know, those contacts, those connections, watching people work is good from all different aspects and areas. So, Gianluca, I have to say thank you very much. We are out of time, unfortunately, but thank you very much for your time. The journey that you've been on is incredible, to go right from the first stages of a club to then be working with the first team. I think for a lot of coaches, also goalkeeper coaches, that is a dream that a lot of people want to experience. And as a foreign coach in Spain, to come from Italy, to come to here in Spain and work is, again, huge credit to you for leaving your home country and coming to a foreign country to work, learn the language, as well as English, is impressive, Gianluca. So I just want to finish with saying thank you. Thank you for all of the time that you've afforded me to come and watch your sessions, to watch you and to learn from you. And yeah, I will be forever grateful for that.
Thank you, Simon, for this amazing time and experience. Having this interview with you in English for me is the first one. Enjoy it
you
very much. Enjoy it very much.
You smashed it. You've smashed it.
Thank you.
Well, Gianluca, thank you very much. Hablamos y hasta pronto, tío.
Perfecto. Venga, un
Ciao.
abrazo. Chao, chao.
Ciao. Ciao.